Hello. Okay. And we're live again. Once again, we are here for Jamuary, making something new every single day of the month. So, let's see who we got. We got one one viewer at the moment, so welcome to the one viewer. Today, the theme is repetition. This is part of the Jamuary challenge that I'm doing with myself and my Discord community. The challenge is to make something new every day of the month. Yep, something new every day of the month and share it every day of the month. So today's theme is repetition. I'm going to probably make something in the techno realm because that's kind of like I feel like the holy grail of repetitive music. I really love techno. I'm a big fan of techno. I actually do make techno from time to time, but I've never released any of it under the Undulate name. Most of it I've just kind of kept to myself. I got like 2 tracks out as my real name, Brendan Rincon. But yeah, big fan of techno. Not haven't made it lately, so today would be a nice opportunity to get back into making some techno, especially because you can do so much with repetition in techno. So I guess if we're gonna make some techno, the first thing we're going to need is a kick. And because the theme is repetition, we're going to try to come up with some kind of repeated motif that we can build the track around. Now, obviously, like a kick would be the obvious one, but that's too easy. We're not going to just make the kick our repeated motif. Probably some kind of, probably some kind of melodic motif. So I'm going to use my kick designer. This is a rack that I made for Ableton Live 11 and 12. Literally just what it says on the box. It's a kick designer, uses operator and a handful of effects processes to make it fat. Yeah, it's a kick designer. Can change the kick pitch envelope. Kind of like a time multiplier here to make the kick like really punchy. You can make the kick shorter. You can, I'm going to turn my speakers off, my bad. So that way it doesn't echo into the mic. Yeah, you can turn up the FM, which the FM is just kind of like being triggered on the transient, like just on the transient. So it gives like these nice sharp attacks. And then you can control how long that FM takes to decay. So you can really dial in some nice color on the kick there. Saturation to further color it. Then like a saturation tone knob right there. Sizzle to give it some like high end. You can also adjust the sizzle tone, like from really high to like more mid-range, more like beefy. Then there's air, which is just like a little bit of reverb on the high end. Amp crunch, make it further punchy. Crunch tone, high to low. And then bit crushing if you really want to destroy it. So yeah, you basically get like everything from like a really nice clean kick like that, like all the way to like totally destroyed. I've ended up using this in my kick design like pretty consistently ever since I've made it. So let's build a foundation. Start with a 4 on the floor. We'll set it to maybe 132. Seems like a safe starting tempo. And we're going to need a rumble as well. We're just trying to build some kind of like starting base that we can get our we can build our stuff on top of. Actually, you know what? Give me 1 sec. I'm also gonna share this on Instagram that I am streaming. Let's see. Copy link. Let's see. Jamuary 2. Today's theme is repetition. All right, just posting this on Instagram to maybe get some more people to come in here and hang out with us. And then we'll get into it. Okay. Yeah, so before we start building our repeated motif, I want to have just some kind of basic kick and rumble pattern that we can start with. So we'll start with a kick and just give it some delay. And then maybe we'll crush that more towards the mono, like center. So there we go. There's some rumble. Give it a little bit of reverb. Techno is when you put reverb on the sub. Okay, we'll start with that. Basically what I'll do is just duplicate this track and then freeze and flatten, and that will give us a wave file that we can just kind of take and loop it. Big fan of printing to audio and just resampling stuff. So now we've got a rumble. I'm also going to use have this little like pseudo sidechain device. It's literally just a shaper with a utility, and the shaper controls the utility when you turn up the amplitude pump. So you can really get that like sidechain pumping kind of effect. Really nice for if anything you're making is 4 on the floor groove, you can just throw that on there and let it do its thing and not have to worry about setting up like sidechain stuff. So now let's remove, actually no, before I remove the stuff from that initial kick layer, I want to do another rumble, but this one is going to be more like in the mid-range. And let's actually... Nice shirt, thank you. Yeah, I got a bunch of these like crazy shirts when I went to a festival, when I went to Lightning in a Bottle, because the thing I love about festivals is you can like dress as crazy as you want, and you will be like like categorically the least crazy dressed person there. Like you can just go all out. I love it. So yeah, I got a bunch of ridiculous shirts before I went to Lightning in a Bottle, and I still wear them around the house. Not the kind of thing maybe that I would wear out in public just going about my day, but I do like to wear these shirts. Maybe I should just wear it going about my day out in public. Fuck it. Yeah, so now what I want to do for this second layer of rumble is I want to have I kind of just want to have like texture that moves up and down in the thing here. Who's messaging me? Oh, it's Orsi. Sick. I'll turn off Discord for now. Don't need notifications coming in. Yeah, okay. So I'm just going to take this little bit of like EQ out, just the highs and the lows. And then I'm going to use a rack. So set up some macros here. Map this one to this one. And then map this one also to that same one. But instead of just using the default range, I'm going to set the filter frequency of the high band a little bit higher, and I'll set the max of this one a little bit lower. So now when we run through this macro here, we kind of just let in like a little bit at a time. And then we can attach an LFO to, just put the LFO straight in the rack here, and then map that to macro 1, set the depth like quite low, and set the frequency of that LFO also quite low. So now we're going to have just like a slightly changing kick texture that operates kind of above the fundamental. Maybe a little bit lower there. Yeah. And then I think what I want to do is also use roar after that EQ and stuff here to really like saturate it, but then after that I want to use an additional EQ just to take out everything except a narrow band. And then maybe throw some reverb, longer reverb on here. Cool. So now we've got an additional layer of texture that we can... Yeah, I am using my kick device. I'm using the Kick Designer. Shout out, or I guess shameless plug would be a better word, Undulate Kick Designer. You can get this one on Gumroad. But yeah, I made a Kick Designer that is just a bunch of stock devices linked up to some macros, and I pretty much always use this to make kicks. Like pretty much all the time. So now we've got that second layer. I might just let this one, like maybe not flatten this one and just kind of let it run. Because we've got that LFO that is not running like synced or looped to any clock or anything. It's just kind of like hanging out and giving us slight variation in the texture. No, I haven't done any devices on Bitwig. I really need to get back into exploring Bitwig a bit. It's just like I really love exploring new tools and new DAWs and stuff like that, but I always end up getting frustrated that I just like I end up like exploring the devices and the tools a lot, but not actually making a ton of music. And for me, Ableton is just like the quickest way from blank canvas to finished product because I've been using it for so long. Some things about Bitwig frustrate me, but I really should do a bit more of Bitwig stuff. Cool, so now we've got another layer. I'm going to use my pseudo chain, which I should put this one up on Gumroad too. And then I'm going to take all these effects off of the original kick. So we'll now just have like a beefy, fat kick. That might be too fat. Maybe we need something tighter. I kind of just like that clean and dry one. It's very deep. And then I guess the other question is what key do I want to make this beat in? I guess E is always a safe bet. Like F or E. And it looks like it's about there. Yeah. I'll probably take a bit of time to dial in exactly where I want these extra textures. Hey, how's it going? Thank you for hanging out. F sharp minor is always like the go-to. I like to go a little bit deeper, to be honest. I usually like to go like a little lower. So with the idea of the day, the prompt of the day being repetition, we need to get some kind of repeated motif other than the kick and the rumble, because that's like obvious. So yeah, making some techno today. I don't normally make techno. I used to a lot. I had like a really big techno phase where I made nothing but techno for like a solid year and a half. And I just kind of stopped and started making a ton of bass music. But I figure, given that the prompt today is repetition, it makes a lot of sense to just make some techno today, because techno is kind of like the king of repetitive genres. I think it's my favorite very repetitive genre anyway. And I think I'm going to EQ this sound. I want maybe I want a little bit more of the low end in here from this, or maybe I just want this peak to go away. Yeah, so now we need to start building up some kind of like repetitive melody or repetitive motif or something. Yeah, I really love techno. I just it's something it's very close to my heart, and I just don't haven't been into making it very much lately because I've been trying to focus on the more like melodic bass music and cinematic bass music stuff that I'm working on for my EP. But Yeah, I really, really love techno. It's very, very special to me. So for a repeated motif, I feel like we kind of just need to dial in like an accent pattern first. So I'm gonna just start by yeah, I feel like that alone, we can just kind of take that and run with it. And of course, it's not going to shine through at all because everything else is kind of drowning it out. But let's see, is that the best we can do? Maybe. There we go. I think I'm going to work with that. I'm trying to think ahead. I'm trying to think ahead of this because like everything is going to be sidechained against the kick. So anything that really happens on the downbeat or the like the downbeat or on the on beats, like the quarter note beats of any bar is going to get completely obliterated by that sidechain. So for my repeated motif, I am trying to make sure that it does not get stepped on. And we could even kind of make it a 2-bar phrase instead. So we've got, yeah, so we'll do that and then repeat that. That's our rhythm. And now we need to figure out what it actually is going to sound like. So probably FM is a decent place to start. Maybe we'll start with some simple sine waves and see if that gets us some interesting tones and then just kind of process the hell out of them. And I can turn off the metronome. And we can mute oscillator B. Duplicated the clip instead of hanging. You mean like having a looped clip like this and then doing that? If that's what you mean, no particular reason other than I just do it that way. I kind of just duplicate. Or if you mean this, yeah, no particular reason. I'm not really thinking too hard about it, to be honest. It has been a long time since I made any kind of like techno lead. So bear with me, because this might suck for a bit. And that needs to be way louder, because that is quiet. Okay, that's getting somewhere. Definitely missing some character, but we're gonna just do it little bit by little bit and just try to eke out some harmonics and stuff. No, it's too much. Oh God, no. Oh, you know what we should actually maybe use is Serum Effects, because we got all those like filters and extra stuff in it at the same time. I also just kind of dig the tube distortion, but maybe not in this case. I don't know. I don't know. Some of this distortion is actually kind of sounding like butt. Oh, maybe we just need to bring out some of those higher harmonics without using distortion. Maybe we just need an exciter. We'll just use an exciter before the reverb. And then maybe we can cut down on the filter a touch. Okay, we have a solid start to a techno tune. So now I kind of just want to build up the percussive textures around this motif. So we can probably just do some pretty standard techno-ish stuff to start off. You know, like hi-hats on the offbeats, etc., etc. So let me get some of my samples up here. Like that one. Maybe we'll keep it short. Whoops. So we can kind of take the same approach that we did with the kick to get some of these textures going on the high end. I feel like the gist of it is like we've got like, think of the core elements, right? Like we've got the kick, doing that, and then we've got this texture around the kick that was made from the kick. So you kind of like take the original element and try to like sculpt it into something that kind of surrounds the kick and the atmosphere and supports the kick. So now we've got this hi-hat pattern, so we can kind of take a similar approach with that. So that's our original hi-hat sound. So we can either make something from that or try to make something to support it. I'm just going to take that original sample actually and add it to a new track. But I'm going to kind of do like a counter groove to it, right? So we'll maybe do something like this. And I'll use an echo. And since it's the high end, we can probably be a little bit more generous with the stereo image. And we could also do some EQing before it to kind of corral it into a particular frequency range. Because we don't want it to step on this. That's the star of the high end right now. So we're gonna kind of try to carve out like a separate space for this like textural element to exist in. So that's one layer. We might want to add additional layers now. So let's see what else we've got in the sample pack. I want something long. I don't know if I have a lot of long hats. I may not, because like most of the hats I make are pretty short. Maybe we can like lengthen one of them somehow. What if we stretch? Whoa, that's kind of cool, but also kind of metallic, which I don't love. I'm going for like smoothness here, I think, with this. Not sure about that. Maybe, oh, you know what? I do have a symbol designer rack, which I also haven't released this one yet on Gumroad. I probably should, because I use it pretty often. And we can I think that's going to sit just fine. So let's kind of take a look at what we have done so far. Yeah, I do kind of have a rack of everything. Not everything, actually. Like I've only got a few. Someone who has a rack of everything is Mr. Bill. It's insane. Like check out his 99 racks thing. Dude literally has a rack for everything. It's nuts. So I'm going to take this little hat pattern right here, duplicate it out a few times, select the whole thing, and then we're going to freeze and flatten that. And then now we've just got this little like looping hat thing that's going on that we can take that and, you know, do further stuff with it. So now that we've printed it to audio, we could experiment with different, like we could maybe move it over a bar and see if that works better for the groove. The shortcut I like is if you hold down Option and Shift, you can then kind of like move the audio within the clip like this. I like that. And then I'm going to take this one and duplicate that out a few times. Whoops. And I'm going to do a similar thing to this one, just use some echo. To make it into more of a groovy pattern. Freeze and flatten. Take that and then just like loop that out. Use the pseudo chain. Give it some pump. Do it on this hat too. Oh, why didn't that work? Copy, paste. There we go. So yeah, we're just kind of building out texture to go on top of the kick and everything. And maybe we even don't need as much of that hi-hat in there. And I still feel like it's lacking something, so I'm going to add another hat up top. But we need something like really sharper. You know what? I'm just going to go with the classic 808 kick. 808 hat. Yeah, 808 kit hat. That's not it. Nope. None of that is it. 808 core kit. That's what I'm looking for. Just throw that on here. Okay, so that's something. Let's give it a bit of reverb. Just barely to put it in a space. And then a little bit of echo. Just to give it some additional like little ghost note type things. Nope, I didn't mean to copy that way. I want to copy it this way, and then that we will freeze and flatten as well. And then we'll take one of these and just duplicate them. And then we can use that pseudo chain again on there. Okay, so we can copy these out a little bit. So now I feel like we need to kind of make this repeated motif breathe a little bit more, because it's cool, but it's kind of static right now. I feel like we got to make it go somewhere, right? So go back into automation mode and kind of had this idea. Oh, sorry, hitting my mic there. It's kind of had this idea about maybe we like take some of these automation points and just kind of like, I like this feature where you can like take the window of automation and just kind of warp it like that. So now it's kind of changing slightly over time. So we could do that on a larger scale, have it happen more slowly over more time, and then just do it differently with like all the different parameters we've got here. So maybe this one gets like a bit stretched out like this. And then maybe this one gets like narrower over time, like narrower and higher. Something like that. So we'll see how that sounds over time. And then I feel like maybe as this builds, because it's starting to sound like kind of a build, we could have the decay time of the delay start to, or not the decay time, the feedback amount start to increase, and then like crank up the dry wet a bit so it starts to get like a little bit more intense. We could have the reverb open up, so start to let a little bit more of the high frequencies into the reverb. Maybe increase the gain into the reverb. And then we also need to sidechain this. So we'll use this again. Who? Satoak Mass? Actually, I don't know who that is. Would love to hear examples though. Is there an album or a release you recommend? Because I like to add these things to my Spotify. Let's see. Satoak Mass. Sick. Yeah, dude, please do. So now we'll sidechain it a little bit. Time. I'll add that one, time. Morning. What's up, Ethan? I think I want to have these notes last a bit longer too as we kind of go into this build here. And we'll go into, we'll open up the filter more too. Cool, so let's just kind of listen to what we've got so far. Nice. Yeah, so I feel like after we've got like big build, and then I'm gonna duplicate everything, and then after it I want to just ditch everything except the kick and this like repeated motif. So let's go back to see kind of the automation that we've done. I think I want to leave the automation in the state that it is at the end of the phrase, the big like build phrase. So I'm going to check all these and just clear out any automation stuff that's going on, and we'll kind of adjust this window to match what we had changed this to be. Kind of difficult to get the scaling right on this. I guess it doesn't have to be perfect. And then I want to have it go somewhere else. So we're going to have it travel somewhere completely different. So maybe have that one go down. Clear this one out. We'll set the decay to go, back to a shorter time. Let's see. We started out at like 405 milliseconds. So we'll go about there again. Maybe on the release, we can have that one go back down to kind of give us like a more dry sound. So we're back in short notes. So now let's make these sort of match maybe, or maybe, oh, we can invert it too. Whoa. That's sick. I like that. And then maybe we'll have this one do another inversion. So we'll drag that handle down and then drag this handle up. And I kind of want to open up the low end of this filter as well. So those delayed versions have some more beef in them, and then maybe cut out the highs too. I feel like the core of techno, especially stuff like this, like the hypnotic techno stuff, is you really just you have to make it breathe. You got to really make it like have life to it. And you can do that by just really gradually changing a shit ton of parameters over time. Not like overkill. Like you can't just have everything modulated randomly. You got to like really be intentional about it. Okay, so let's introduce back the percussion and then hear how that transition sounds. I want the, maybe I want the echo to just turn off completely, because I want those tails to get like chopped off. Honestly, like I want it to be a really stark change. Maybe we have the reverb open up more here. So like on this guy, this one right here, we'll have that. That's sharp. I feel like we could use some soothe on this, because like when using FM, the resonances are just like out of control, you know? So what the fuck? What does that mean? What is that? I don't know about that. Oh, whatever. I kind of don't love the descending part of this second phrase. So maybe I want to tame that. maybe I just don't want a lot of this like low end present on this sound. Because I thought about maybe having a bass line happen too. So maybe that needs to stay in the like melody realm. I'm not sure. I've also seen Jan Cook. If none of you know, if you happen to not know who Jan Cook is, definitely check out that dude's channel. He is like completely goated with techno. Like he is the absolute god of hypnotic techno. And I've seen him use like the amp and cabinet sims that Ableton comes with to like make some really, really nasty stuff. Yeah, everything he does is gold. Like literally everything he does is perfect. It's Jan Cook. Yep, that guy. That's it. That's the one. Goated. Absolutely goated. Dude is a fucking alien. I'm not very experienced with using the amp. There's another kind of bass line I really enjoy doing in techno stuff, and it's kind of just like when you pretty much just like have a square wave or a saw wave, and like I'll show you because it's really like one of my favorites. We're in the key of E, so we'll go down here, like really low note, and we will just kind of take a filter on it and use I'll use a square wave because it's like a little more atonal. But yeah, we can take that, use envelopes and filter movement and stuff on it, and just like tons of delays to make like really nice textures. So like, look, if I'll do like just every note, like 16th notes like this. But then if I copy that a bunch, could have done this next step first. Copy that a bunch, and then go down here to the chance view right there, select all the notes and then just drag these down to like, I don't know, 30%. We kind of get this like randomly triggered bass note, which we can now use to excite like delays and reverbs and change this filter. I'm gonna actually even copy this wavetable over to this oscillator here, so we'll paste it there. Then I'm gonna ditch the first harmonic and then detune this. So now we get some width to it as well. Run those both through the filter. Maybe set the filter envelope to be a little more gentle. Then run this through an echo. Maybe some saturation. And now we can use like LFOs, like set the LFOs to not be anchored to any like BPM sync or anything, and just kind of like have those moving over time. Yeah, I want to have that filter closed a little more, so we'll increase the range. Maybe have the LFO go a little bit slower. Then we'll do another LFO. But on this LFO, what we can do is instead of linking it to that filter, we'll do a second filter, but we'll set it to like a notch. Yeah, there's a notch in here somewhere. Oh, it's yeah, okay, here we go. Notch 24. So we can set a notch up here and then set this LFO to the same kind of deal, like really slow. And then link that up to the cutoff on that notch. Yeah, the important thing with reverbs and echoes on basses is just like let the basic like don't let the bass into the reverb. Like let the harmonics into the reverb and the echo, but let the bass kind of just exist on its own. Like in this patch, like if I set the echo to 100% wet, we're not really getting much of the actual bass in there. We're just getting the upper harmonics. So those are kind of what we can feed into the reverb and everything. So I'll actually like group that echo into a rack, so we can just have the echo on its own be processed. So we'll have this one be the dry chain, this echo will be the wet chain, and then we can run that, just the echo. So we're just getting those echoes on the higher harmonics that are going into the reverb. We won't let the reverb touch the actual bass frequencies at all. And that's perfect. It's perfect for techno. And then, like sidechain it a little bit. Whoops, not on the main. When I first started producing, it was a hard no from a lot of resources I was watching. But now that I know how to mix a bit better and keep it not muddy, I should get into the habit of trying it more. Yeah, those rules, like it makes sense. Like as a starter kind of thing, like don't put reverb on the bass. Yes, that's solid advice. But if you know how to like break apart the parallel processing chains and do stuff and then bring it back together at the end, the rules kind of just go out the window and it's about what sounds good. So then we sidechain it. I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna have that bass maybe just come in on the like after the little drop break thing here. So it's a little intense right now. Maybe we need less of the bass hits to happen. And maybe we just need less in the mix also. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe because the, maybe because this repeated motif is happening so consistently, the randomness is kind of cluttering it. So what if instead we just have like sub nonprofit. So let's just have this be consistent. I guess this works because the theme of today is repetition anyway, so let's stick with the repetition theme and try to make some like interlocking rhythms. Maybe I just don't want that on the drop. Oh, and you know what else? I think I don't like. I think I don't like this there either. It's kind of getting in the way. So we're going to take that out. We're just gonna have that cut off directly after that little breakdown. That's a lot better. And then maybe for the kick, another thing I like about this kick designer rack is we can kind of have the kick morph over time to change for the needs of the track at any particular section. And it doesn't have to be like switching a sample. It can be a gradual change. So like maybe when the track starts, or whatever this section starts, maybe at the beginning we don't have it as crunchy, and then it can kind of get crunchy towards that build as it builds up. And then after the build, when we get to the little break here, we can maybe have it, let's see, what do we want to do? Maybe just, maybe we'll have that transient time tighten up a little bit. But then maybe the decay can lengthen to compensate for that. Maybe we cut the sizzle as well. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's better. So it goes from like dirty and it just cleans right up. And then we can have this cutoff on this bass motif kind of increase over time. So now we need like a new section here. feel like we could bring in some of the hats again. Maybe, I don't know, like now I'm not actually 100% sure about this kind of like atonal motif that I cooked up in the beginning. I kind of like this ambient, like hypnotic vibe a little bit more. Maybe we just bring it to the background a little bit more. What if we have actually that echo kind of keep going? Maybe? Yeah, but actually I want it to last long. I want it to just kind of like hang out. And then that's nice. Okay. Cool. So let's start. I feel like we could get some atmosphere going in here now. Let's see. Maybe just some wavetable stuff, like a pad or a chord or something. Yeah, that black hole reverb is actually insane. Like, this is nuts. I've really been sleeping on this. I've had it for like 2 months. Like, I bought it, or maybe a month. I bought it like at the end of Cyber Monday. It was the one thing that got me for Cyber Monday. The one ad, the one deal. And I just now started using it, and it's fucking massive. The thing I feel that sets it apart is the long tails. The actual, like, how the tails sound. Like, just let me make a new track here, and we'll compare it with the stock reverb on specifically the ability to have like really lush long tails. So play a minor chord, and I'll do like a little bit of just something like that, yeah. A little like dub techno stab, the most basic one you can imagine. And here we go. We'll throw Black Hole Immersive on it. And then I'm going to turn up the feedback and set the, I don't know, we'll just mess with the settings a little bit here. And then now just listen to the reverb tail as I play this chord. It's just really good. It's just a really nice reverb tail. And let me turn it up a bit more. Oh, sorry. Let me turn it up a little bit more so you can hear it better. And I'll play a slightly different chord. And then maybe we can do one where we like let in a little bit more of those upper harmonics. Yeah, so there's that. And then if we take the stock reverb, which I do like the stock reverb, but I don't know, it just doesn't have that same like lushness to it. Maybe if we tweak the settings a bit, we can get like a little bit closer. It's like, it's good, but I don't know, that black hole one, it's really nice. It's nice. Yeah, it's one of those coloration things. going to go back to this little bass patch. I kind of want to take the... I want to see if I can get these transients to clip just a little bit. Just to give it a little bit more punch. And I feel like we could even just like make those bass notes a little less intense. Okay, now I feel like there's maybe too much coloration coming in through this. And what if we change, I want to demonstrate the difference just between saw waves and square waves on this like style of bass. That's a saw wave. I actually almost kind of like that better. Like the square wave has like a darker sound, but with the pad, I feel like the saw wave like keeps the tonality intact and supports the pad a little bit better. So let's now start to build out some more percussive layers to support these little grooves that we've got building up here. So I feel like a clave would be kind of nice. So maybe we'll copy this 808 core kit over to a fresh track. Oh, that's not actually the kit. That's just a recording. Let's blank it out for a second. 808 core kit. There we go. Need one of those. No, I don't want to put it on the wavetable track. I want a new MIDI track with that on it. There we go. Okay, so maybe that sound, but I want it, it's that one. Can we like pitch shift it up at all? Multi-sample mode for a freaking clave? Can I really not just change this? What about controls? Pitch? There we go. There we go, that's what I want. So I'm going to just make a little motif there and repeat it. And we're going to use echo once again to kind of build up a groove around it. Maybe down an octave? Subs, alien. I really like this second section way more than this first section, but let's see how the transition holds up. Yeah, that transition is not smooth. I kind of just want to ditch the first part and build out the second part. Yep, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm ditching that first section. I literally just want to build this out. Yeah. need another 808 core kit, but I want to do this one. I think this one needs a ride symbol kind of thing. hi-hat. All right. think I'm going to call that a day for January 2. I got some other stuff. Oh, I should save. Of course, I haven't even saved yet. What an idiot. Yeah, I got some other stuff I want to get done today as well. Because I've got this EP that I've been working on, and I really need to get it done. I've been really procrastinating on that. And I got some time today to do that, so yeah, we're gonna, oh, no, I don't want to put it in that folder. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so I want to get some of that done as well today, so I'll cut this off without getting too deep into this, you know, hour and a half, 2 hours of work. But yeah, feeling pretty good about this one. Gonna check it on my speakers after I end the stream, and then I'll post it in the chat and listen to some of the others who have already submitted their work for today. So thank you everybody who tuned in. I'm gonna get off of here. It's also 3:00 p.m. and I have not eaten anything today yet, so I really need to eat something. Okay, cool. Thanks for tuning in. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna do this tomorrow as well, but I've done it 2 days in a row so far. So the stream, I mean, I'm gonna do Jamuary every day, but this is day 2 of streaming. We'll see if I can make it to the end of the month streaming every day. No guarantees on that front though.